Hello and welcome. This is Dan Perkins for WeThePeopleMedia.net. Today I want to talk about another constitutional provision, and that is the protection of property. What is the role of the government? The government is to protect and defend its citizens. This past weekend, we had a demonstration in the city of Baltimore for a person who was a black man who was killed, we don't know yet, in the line of duty or not, by a policeman. The mayor of that city said in a press conference that we have to give room for the protesters to demonstrate, but we also must give them room to destroy. We got to give them room to destroy property? Whose property? Anybody's property? Your property? My property? The government doesn't give a protester the right to destroy another person's property. Yet the mayor of this city decided that we're going to set aside property to be destroyed. How did you decide that? When we look back at Ferguson and look at the protest and the riots over this policeman who shot and killed this young man, if you watch that, I looked at that and I said to myself, wow, if I were a black man who had worked so hard to bring myself up, to build a decent business, whether it was in Ferguson or wherever it was, to make myself successful, to provide for my wife and children, and I watched my brothers and sisters looting and destroying property of somebody else who worked hard to get there, what right did they have to go in and take the property of the individual store people and destroy it and set it on fire and burn it to the ground? How does that relate to anything to do with the death of that young man? Other riots in New York and in San Francisco over this same issue, the bogus hands up, don't shoot. But now we've come to a point where the mayor of an large American city has decided that the best way to deal with the demonstrators is give them an area to destroy. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It isn't the mayor's responsibility to protect and defend the people, and the protecting meaning also their property. For the mayor of Baltimore to say it was okay for the demonstrators to destroy property in the city of Baltimore, there is something fundamentally wrong with the decision-making process. And we went along with it. Why? We went along with it because we couldn't think of anything else to do. Well, how about bringing in more policemen? How about calling out the National Guard? How about requiring the protesters to protest as Martin Luther King would have liked them to protest, peacefully? I wonder how the black community and the black leaders who were around when Martin Luther King was around and are still here today, how they would think about what's going on when an American city mayor says, we're going to set aside property to be destroyed by the protesters. I don't think Martin Luther King would have been pleased with what happens in Ferguson, would have been pleased at what happened in Baltimore and many other cities. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, it's an example of a fundamental problem that we have in the United States. Black people are protesting because they don't believe they have any opportunity, and they are totally dependent, in many cases, on the government for their food and their living. The idea that they can be free and independent people has been so ingrained to them that that's not possible, that the government needs to take care of them. Then it becomes reasonable and acceptable that the government has to give them something to destroy. I don't think so. This is Dan Perkins for WeThePeopleMedia.net.